Hello everyone, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be talking about the dual flail build in Elden Ring. So this build is overall a lot of fun, and it's actually pretty good. I was able to absolutely destroy Malenia with it, and honestly the weapon art is pretty fun as well. So if you guys are looking for something new to play and something a little bit more fun than the builds you normally see, and just a new weapon type in general, flails are definitely the way to go. So with that being said, if you guys could please drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the build, or if this video helped you out at all, and a sub to the channel, it would really help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. Also, another thing I wanted to mention was that if you guys have any trouble getting any of the items for this build, you can go to aoa.com and you can get any item in the game. They sell runes, they sell all type of consumables, and literally everything you could ever need, and you can use code SARAH for 3% off. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So the first thing we always do in these build videos is we go over the gear of the build. So for this build specifically, we are using 2 occult flails, and I was actually not able to use the other flails. I'm aware that they're better, but I honestly didn't have enough strength and didn't really want to waste a larval tier on increasing my strength just by like 5 or something. So I just went with the flails. Not as good, but overall they do the job. And then we have the Dragon Communion Seal plus 9 in the offhand. This is just for the incantations that we're going to be using. For the fashion, we are just basically using something basic. I know in the Malenia fight, as you will see, I was using something different, and it was a little bit more of like a kind of like a flail knight build, and it looked really cool. But for this, we just went with the Crucible Axe set, and then we have the Altered Chest. It looks really good. You can, however, throw on the White Mask just for a little bit extra damage, because the White Mask gives you that nice damage increase whenever there's blood loss. For the talismans of the build, we have the Claw Talisman, the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, and the Shard of Alexander. As for the Flask of Wondrous Physic, we have the Thorny Crack tier and the Stone Barb Crack tier. So now we're going to take a look at the stats of the build. We are level 150, we have 50 Vigor, 13 Mind, 30 Endurance, 12 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 14 Intelligence, 15 Faith, and 75 Arcane. And so now I just want to talk a little bit about how this build works, as well as some of the main reasons why this build is so good. So for those 2 occult flails, I actually used wild strikes on them, and the reason why I use this is because the amount of damage that you can do and the stun lock that you can get just by doing that is absolutely insane. I was able to just smack Malenia around, as you guys will see in these clips. I literally just beat her up and threw her all over the place, and it was amazing. As I'm sure all of you guys know by now, she's an incredibly difficult boss, and just being able to throw her around like that was actually very fun. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this build, and actually when you mix the effects of the Wondrous Physic that we're using, the increased damage from the consecutive attacks, and the increased stagger, the amount of stagger and stun you could do to most enemies that are around your size, and even I was even able to stagger and kind of throw around the Crucible Knights, who are, as you guys are very aware, very tanky and quite annoying to deal with. So the fact that I was just able to stagger as many people as I was able to, it's a lot of fun. So in addition to drinking your Wondrous Physic before your fights, some of the main attacks that are going to do the most damage is obviously the L2. Like I said, it's the Wild Strikes. You can just spam it for a very long time and keep going and going, and it does tons of damage with nice stagger, but also you could use the jump attacks, and the main base of the kit of the flails is just pretty solid in general as well. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that flails are amazing on horseback. So if you are in a situation where you're in a boss fight and you want to jump on your horse, the R2 attack is absolutely insane. I'm sure if you guys have fought the Flail Knights Cavalry boss, you are aware those 3 strikes and then the last one is pretty large. It's basically the same thing as that, and it does tons of damage. Very good, and makes the game pretty easy. So overall, this build is actually a lot better than I expected it to be. I was kind of just expecting this build to be kind of like a meme build, or almost like just something different to try out, but overall flails are very sturdy. And like I said before, I didn't even have the best flail. I believe there's a flail that drops from the Pumpkinhead enemies, as well as the Knight Rider's flail. They're both better than the one I used, so you could even make this build better and optimize it even further and make it do even more damage. But overall, this is the blueprint for this build. You're going to enjoy it. All you would need to do is just swap out the flails, and you're going to absolutely love this build. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.